All right, guys. Welcome to today's session. Um, just feel I have to do this today. Just a quick one. All right. Just a quick one. So this is US30. As you already know, we are trading US30, US oil, and gold. So today, this is what I've been having. So I'm currently running on my gold buy. So looking forward for price to at least push towards this level. So this is the target, but of course, as you can see, I have my alert right here. That will be a retest of this broken structure. So I'm looking forward to uh, backing out at this particular level. Though we could see price almost got to that point, but of course it didn't. So I have my break even in place. So just watching out to see how it unfolds here in gold. So basically, let's look at US30. US30 has already broken the structure I expected it to, and um, I was basically waiting to see how it's going to react by 1 p.m. GMT. That was my entry time, and as it is right now, uh, it's likely that the bandwagon has left us, but I'm still going to be patiently waiting to see what happens here on US30. Then, of course, I might be jumping in for this sell. So, just going to be patiently waiting. Patience is the name of the game. So, as you can see, almost all the assets here are red, so it's signaling some bearish trends for the US30. So but I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed while I watch out to see how everything unfolds. So immediately there is a setup coming up, I'm gonna be alerting you guys so that those of us that would want to join me, of course, can. So let's see. So US oil, I'm not too fascinated about what US oil is doing, but be it as it may, if I would want to give my view on US oil, is going to be basically of a sell bias, because we can see, let's look at this. So around this level, we can see there is this series of rejection. We saw what happened here previously. Price tried to break through this structure and ended up closing with below this particular structure. So we have not seen an unhealthy close above this structure. So basically, price is still trying to dance around that same area. So in this regards, I am confident that if this structure breaks holes, if this structure breaks holes, so then we should see price heading back towards at least to this um, accumulation point. And furthermore, in the presence of volume, we might see a retest of this level. So but either way, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed, waiting to see how price will validate this structure break. Then of course we will decide if we will be looking out for an entry in the bearish direction, or if it's just gonna be staying flat. Of course, if there is still potential of the bullish push, then of course we should see this entire volume being taken out. We did see a strong bearish volume coming in. That was on Friday, and of course we are yet to counter that volume in the bullish direction. So for now, it's currently in a no trade zone, so I'm just gonna stay flat and watch out to see how everything unfolds right here on the US oil. Okay, so there's this bit of rejection of that level here on US30, and we are about barely 6 minutes to the new hour open. So let's see what's gonna happen. Right. So let me jump onto the 1 hour time frame so that we can actually appreciate what's going on here. Currently, you can see we have price currently in bullish, sorry, a bearish trend. So excuse my drawing. So you have price currently in a downward trend. Okay, so let's see how everything turns out. Structure broken, retest, break, consider retest right there. So this is basically the most significant low, but of course we did see price testing that level. There's 37149 price level. Then of course there was a rejection and price closed above previous rejection level, which was 37163, which of course this was a significant close. You can see what is happening right there. So this is a gap I will be looking at to see how price reacts in case we are able to capture the sell. Maybe if I see a pullback, then of course I'll be engaging in the sell, because looking at the volume right here on the 1 hour time frame, we did see, okay, earlier on I was able to spot this buy on the 15 minutes time frame. So actually got in this buy. The exit was right at this point, right here. So it just triggered my TP, and of course it did flashback. For those of us that know me, pre New York or whatever in the London session, I take less of trades, especially when it has to do with the US30. So basically this gave me 56 pips from my entry. This was about my entry right here. So it was a clean 30 minutes trade, and that was an awesome one. So but that is not what I'm interested in right now. I'm just focused on what the market has for me right about now. We are just 4 minutes to go for the new 1 hour candle to pop open. So still hanging on to see uh, the setup that will be presented. As of course, like I said, this was my structure that I drew. I expected a break, but I also expected that price would kind of dance around till about 1 p.m. before I could join to stay in line with my timing. But of course, price does what it knows how to do best, and it has already done, I think, about 40 pips or so. So yeah, so it has done about 42 pips to the level, so which is, so I'm still in gold, still in gold. Expectation is to exit at 2017.63. It almost got to my target, but because I wasn't on system to manually close, so right now I just have to babysit it. So for gold, I wouldn't advise you to jump in right now, because entry matters. So US oil, like I said, I'm still looking forward to see how price will validate this structural break. So if we see a nice validation of this structural break, then of course I'll be calling out for the sells. So basically we might be looking forward to cashing in some about 80 pips or so. Even if we are able to catch in 60 pips, that would be a good one. So let's see how everything turns out in the next 2 minutes. Of course, there's going to be a release by 1:30 p.m. So that also can be a yardstick for us to kind of be a little bit reserved. So you see in the next 31 minutes, there's going to be building permits release and also jobless claim. So let's see, see previously we had 207 here in the jobless claim. Then the anticipated, the consensus here is 208. So basically, there's this anticipation that uh, there is more unemployment in the United States, which of course this will likely affect the USD. So if all things being equal, it therefore means that there is a possibility that we will be seeing more bulls on gold, more bulls on gold. So I think with the current situation, I might be exiting my gold trade while I'm going to be staying alert to see how everything turns out in the next about 28 minutes. So but I'm still strong on the positive the bullish continuation on gold, looking at the fundamental. So for now I'm just gonna exit it and wait to see how everything turns out. All right. Okay, so for now, let's focus on US30. So let's see if we'll be able to get that retest of broken structure. Then, of course, we might be able to join the cells. So everything still looks strongly bearish, man. So US oil, let's step down to the lower time frame and see what we can. All right. So here on US oil, so from the look of things, I'll be looking forward for a sell stop. So let's look at this. So the low of this just concluded candle would be my sell stop. So I'm just going to be risking about 56 pips. So looking forward to about 83 pips. So let me see if I can redefine my stop loss. Okay, I think that is the best I can do. Right. All right, so let's see how it goes. So stop. So let me indicate that for those that will be joining soon. So stop at 72.46. All right, so that is it. So it's self stop at 72.46. So let me take up this. All right. Okay. All right. So as I already explained earlier, we have this structure. Even on the 15 minutes, you can see this small M. They have like a double top one, another rejection here too. So if we look at this, this is a V. So you have the bearish volume. So if we potentially have a break here, I'm expecting that there should be that bearish continuation. All right, so let's see if we will be triggered. Still waiting. So okay, let me just put an alert right at the entry so that when we are triggered, you will see right there 72.46. All right, so we just got triggered and here we are live in the trade. So let's see if it's gonna be for us or if it's gonna be against us. Remember, we're risking 56 pips. So of course you can always use stop loss that you are comfortable with. Make sure your risks are always in line with your risk appetite. And also, if you join my trades, make sure to comment that you are in the trade so that depending on how the trade goes, maybe along the line I can tell, okay, at this point break even, at this point you can probably take partial or something, right? So let's see. So gold is still doing its thing. So you have 23 minutes to go. 23 minutes to go. Wow, everywhere looking red. So let's see if we can get the important ones. All right, so we are still in the trade. Let's see how everything turns out. All right, Issa. Oh, it's been a long time, man. It's been a while. Issa is in the trade. All right, bro. So let's see how it goes. So let me just pinpoint some levels that probably uh, depending on your capital or depending on your system, you might want to exit, all things being equal, if trade uh, continues in our favor. Right. So, but from the look of things, let me just do a quick recap of this and why I'm a bit comfortable in this trade is we did see some rejection right here. So basically we did see, let's some may call this a double bottom, right? So we saw price push to test this previous structure, a correction, then of course a breakout, and we saw some flat movement here. Then price has been struggling bullish. Then of course we have seen a similar pattern, which is the M pattern. So what we had here was a W, which is a double bottom. So we have here like a double top here on the 15 minutes time frame, and we have seen pre New York open volume. So basically we are expecting that price volume will continue to be in favor of the base, in the sense that there's a probability that this initial volume will be countered in the bearish direction. So this is a range here that if price breaks through properly, then we should see this range being filled. So this is basically a range filled kind of trade. So let's see what happens as we are still anticipating the data release. All right, so US30 is currently trying to correct bullish. So because I'm already in the oil trade, I wouldn't be taking this trade for now unless I see a clearer setup on US30. So for now, sticking to US oil. Right. Watching. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da. So the first 15 minutes is going to be closing the next 2 minutes. So let's see if it's going to give us some high hopes for the continuation. All right, so in as much as it's still dancing, so let's look at some areas of possible exits in our favor depending on how price turn out to behave. So like I always said that ours is to analyze based on our system, based on past results, then of course look at certain other parameters, and then you execute. Then the rest is left for the market to decide. if you are going to be going home with some positive dollars, or probably that is going to be one of the trades that probably you need to check back in to see some of the things you omitted that probably led to the loss. If there, of course, there's nothing you omitted and that was just one of those losing trade, then of course you just learn from it and move on. So that is why money management is very, very important when it comes to trading, because the first thing you should be looking out for is your capital preservation. It's just 39 pips, 45 pips. So the new 15 minutes candle is up, and currently the last candle closed below the anticipated structure. So let's see if volume will continue to be in our favor. Let's just see. So US30 is pushing bullish, gold as well. So let's see. For now, our emphasis and focus is on the US oil. So having looked at the anticipated fundamental and with the current data, if all things being equal, we have just as anticipated, then there is the likelihood that this trade will turn out to be a very good one. So let's hang on and see how it all unfolds. So we have 13 minutes to go for the release. Let's see. Ta-da-da, ta-da-da, ta-da-da. So if price retest this broken structure here, so that's gonna be about, I think, 39 pips, which of course is a reasonable place to that. Okay, 37. What's that? So 37 pips, so which is a reasonable pledge to probably break even or downsize your position. So we are currently floating 14 pips. So 19 pips let's see. Right, so right. So US30 is just pushing. So just focus on our US alts because that's what we are currently in a trade for now. Gold, gold is just doing its own thing. So by the next GB, we're gonna know what's gonna happen. Sometimes a lot of people do not like to trade, especially when there is an upcoming news. But of course, if the setup is right, all things being equal, then of course the news should be in your favor. So for me, I just trade my setup, but most importantly, I keep my risk low so that at the end of the day, even if it turns out to be a loss, it doesn't affect my accounts. So let's just see. So if you are just joining us, please kindly like the video, like the stream, and comment. Let's be interactive because that is what is gonna help me serve you better. So now, having broken the structure, it's wise to reduce your exposure. So I'm just gonna reduce my exposure to around 44. So instead of the 50 something pips, we are now risking entirely 44 pips. So okay, barely 6 minutes to go. Yup. Man, don't mess up. So US30 has successfully retested, but of course there is no trade for me. All right. What is oil not doing? All right. So let's keep our eye on oil and see what's happening. So 4 minutes to go, and oil is trying to behave funny. All right. So we're still in the oil trade. Eventually gave us about 20 pips, and now we're just dancing around 6 pips. So the best we could do was just to adjust our SL to have lesser exposure. We are expecting a data release in the next 3 minutes. So let's see how it all turns out. Still being positive in the cells. At least, like I said, at this point, you should be looking at maybe downsizing or breaking even. This will also depend on the pressure or the volume that is coming in. That is if it goes in our favor. You understand? You always have to stay positive. So a quick breakdown again on the trade, the reason for the trade. You can see we have a double top on the 15 minutes time frame, and the bulls at the points there was this struggle in creating new highs. So having seen this new rejection here, right, and some bearish volume coming in pre New York. So of course we are looking forward to capitalizing on that volume also with our projection on the fundamental release. Then of course it was suitable for us to jump in for the sell. Basically it was a sell stop because we expected to see a break in this particular bullish candles low before entry, and of course that is exactly what happened. It did break, push higher first of all, then came down to break, triggered our position, and now we are currently in the sell trade. So let's see how everything unfolds, because we just have barely about 2 minutes or so, yes, for the release. So hopefully there would be some volume coming in. So US30 we have had the retest, but of course I need to see a confirmation before I can eventually call any trade here. And more so, I am already in the US oil trade, so I'm more eager to see how this particular trade turns out, because there is still opportunity to jump into US oil US30 trade. That will be around 2 p.m. GMT, or I might be patiently waiting for 2:30 p.m. GMT to still knock in some opportunity. But for now, we're staying frosty with the US oil trade. So gold. So it's good I close this trade because right now I would have been in negative. So still hanging on 2 day sells. A minute to go. Get ready, guys. Get ready, guys. Anything can happen. Some seconds to go. Mm. It is time, but I'm not seeing any volume. The presence of volume. Okay, let's see. Actually, I expected to see some volume, but of course, I think at the moment it's not forthcoming. So we're just gonna be staying patiently, watching out for the trade. So let's look at 30 minutes. So 30 minutes looks more better for us. So hanging on. So currently about 17 pips in profit. So let's see how it turns out. Whoa. So US30 has actually done the retest and is likely trying to drop. So now with the last confirmation, the last 30 minutes close, I would adjust my SL because now I'm seeing a more bearish confirmation because if I zoom in, we can see we had these three strong cells, then an inside bar and a goving candle, which of course it tested their highs before it ended up closing bearish, leaving a little bit a wick to the bottom. So there's a range here to fill. So of course, structure wise and candlestick wise, there is more room for the best, but of course we just have to stay safe. So I'm just gonna reduce my SL, my exposure. So right now instead of 44 pips, I'm reducing it towards leaving some room from above the high here. So currently I'm going to be risking 37 pips, so let me just adjust that. All right, so that is it. Still about 15 pips in profit. So we're just hanging on there. So actually, US30 did the retest as I anticipated earlier, and is already trying to give that drop. She's already done about 27 pips. So it's like US oil is going to be testing our patience. It like it's going to be testing our patience. Alright, so I'm gonna give it till 1 p.m. GMT. Sorry, 2 p.m. GMT. That is, I'm gonna give it an extra 27 minutes. So if it's still dancing, I'm gonna be exiting manually. Patient, patient, patient. All right, so right. So the release was better than expected. Was better than expected. So it was rather positive for the USD. Was rather positive. So let's see if the technicals are just gonna lead the way, or the fundamental will distort the course of the structure. But this is more like a set and forget kind of a trade, where you just put your stop loss, you're already in the trade, put your take profit and close the chart and allow it to run. Right, so TP1 hit. That was sharp. That was sharp, guys. That was sharp. TP1 hit, man. So you gotta break even or you downsize your position. So that was sharp. So make sure that you have second partials or you have break even, depending. So TP1 hits. So we're still hanging on. So personally, I've closed partial. All right. All right. So this is the reason I said you should close partial. You can see what is happening at the moment, though we are still positive about the whole trend. Overall target is at 71.64. So the US30, of course, is also giving the sell vibe. So if you have some um, margin to spare, so you're just gonna be, you can wait for the next 5 minutes to close. All right. So this is the just concluded 5 minutes. You can see how strong the rejection is on the 5 minutes. But personally, I do not like to really take my trade off the 5 minutes time frame. I rather prefer the 15 minutes time frame. So I want to see how this 15 minutes candle closes. Then of course, it will give me that confirmation. But if you are kind of a trader that jumps in, but of course you might have want to jump in now in line with the 5 minutes time frame. But like I said, I'm gonna be a bit patient to see how the 15 minutes candle close. So let me just give you guys a closure of where I'm looking forward as my targets, all things being equal. So like I said earlier on, this is a range. I'm expecting to see some reaction. So of course, if the low of this bullish candle is taken out, this is the 30 minutes candle, then we should see a less price dropping towards this level, which is 37,149 price level. So let me just mark it out with this alert right there. So US oil is still dancing, guys. Wow. So now we are retesting this level. All right, so we keep our fingers crossed and watch to see. So in a minute or in some few seconds, this 15 minutes candle will be closing out and we should see what's up. Let's look at the risks. Oh, that's about 74 pips. It's a good trade, but for me the risk is a bit on the high side. Oh, just some few seconds, it has broken and let's see. So the new 15 minutes is up. Okay. Oh, US oil is not doing too well at the moment with the new candle. So basically, if you had break even, so you would be out right about now. So, but of course, if you did take partial and at the same time break even, then you wouldn't have anything to lose, or probably maybe you had accurately closed the entire position. That was a smart one. But of course, like I said, for me, this setup is still valid as long as this immediate high is not taken out. The immediate high created by the last bearish candle or the last candle before the current candle, this is the 30 minutes time frame. As long as that high is not taken out, this trade is still valid. The low has been taken out, but this candle has not yet closed. So we are yet to see how this candle is going to close. So in as much as we are yet to see how it's going to close, it is still not invalidated the setup because the high is still intact. So I think I'm gonna be considering the sell. Let's see. This is the 1 hour time frame. Now, what is gonna make me a little bit skeptical about this trade is previously we can see how price has been rejecting this level. So now price is back to that same zone. That is why I say that this is a gap that I'm expecting some reaction. So looking at the nature of this zone, one needs to be careful. So I'm just going to be holding or hanging on to this particular trade while watching out for the timing. All right, so this is back to profits. So let's see. Let's get some of this thing clean up. So 1 hour time, 30 minutes, sorry. So the 30 minutes looks so nice, anticipating a breakout to the downward direction. Looks so nice because you can see this is like an engulfing candle, but the catch here right now is that the candle has not closed. So if it does closes this way, then it would be a consideration, a setup for us to consider. So but I'll prefer if I have it at least around this level so that my risk can be a little bit reduced. So I think 70 pips risk. So if I have about 70 pips risk for price to give me a nice drop to the new level right here, that is about 109 pips. So that should be a nice risk to reward ratio. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to be patiently waiting to see how everything unfolds. So oil is really dancing, really dancing. So after giving us our first TP, it's really not behaving well. So these are some of the reasons you need to understand how to trade. If you want to be a day trader, you need to understand a lot of principles that will guide your decisions. So, and these are some of the things I teach my student personally. So, if you want to be a day trader, there are things. Flexibility is one of the characteristics that you need to uh, have. You need to be very, very flexible, understanding your pay. Then, of course, risk management is also a key factor. So some of these things are things I deal with in my session with my students or with my mentees. So, but it's worthy to note that the only pairs that I cover is US30, US oil, and gold. These are the three pairs I cover, even if we are doing a session, so that you have to understand before you can come up to uh, before you can even send me a chat. So from the look of things, US oil, for those that are still in it, sorry, you didn't act quick, because I already told you guys it's that when it gets here, downsize your position or break even. So which of course, if it was a break even, you would have been taken out at break even with positive something, some small pips. So now my focus is on US30. So 15 minutes correction, 30 minutes looks so nice, giving me that selling vibe. So but we still have about 7 minutes to go. 7 minutes to go. So let's see if we can have something right there. So about 66 pips. Something of this sort would be a good one, so that we can hopefully look out for a good exit point. So I think, yeah, so that is about it. I have 3 minutes, oh sorry, about 6 minutes to go. So let's see how the next couple of minutes turn out. Then we can now decide if we would be joining the sales or not. All right. So we still this trade is not active yet. This is what I'm expecting. So we still, so let me put it this way so that those that just joined would not uh, jump in as thinking that it's an active trade. So I'm actually expecting or anticipating that I have this candle close around that level. Then of course it would be a nice opportunity to jump in for a sell. because that would be a nice supply and demand setup, which is going to be like, so let me just all right, so that would be like a drop, a base, and drop. So this is likely going to align with the timing, and with this nice sideways candles, then it is likely something that can have a nice potential for the drop. So let's hang on. I'm still hanging on to see how everything unfolds in the next 3 minutes. I think it's time to just grab some water, man. Okay. Wow, wow, wow. So what do we have here? So basically, like anticipated, price has broken through where we expected, but of course, uh, it wasn't a sell stop, so we are not in any trade with regards to US30. We are just hanging on there, and of course, US oil is something that we are not currently in a trade as well, because we had been taken out of break even. So even though there's still potential, but we are already out of that trade. So I think for now I'll be calling this stream a day because US30 did not close as expected, even though it still has the bearish potential. So I'm just gonna call it a day here. Then we'll be meeting again tomorrow, God willing. But of course, if you want to join the sales, I see some potentials towards this particular level right here. But of course, then again, you should be watching out to see how price reacts around this zone. Then that should inform your decision if you should stay towards this level. So this is it from me. So see you guys tomorrow.